Hi, YouTubers and wet shavers everywhere. It's Mark with GeorgeToon.com. I'm back with another Monday morning mailbag. Get yourself a cup of coffee, kick back, relax. Let's talk a little wet shaving and a few other things. What do you got this morning? I got something out of my Keurig this morning. Hang on 1 minute. Yeah, that's a great cup of coffee. Maxwell House. Yeah, we're using Maxwell House because this was President Teddy Roosevelt's favorite coffee. He's the one that coined the phrase, that coffee is good to the last drop. So what better way to celebrate Independence Day, the 4th of July, with a really patriotic kind of coffee because it was Teddy Roosevelt's favorite. And yes, it is the 4th of July, Independence Day here in the United States of America. So it's a national holiday. We have the day off today. But if you are still going to work and you're taking me on your morning commute, hey, thanks very much for the lift. But everybody here in the States, majority of people have the day off because it is a national holiday. And I am using my alien space bug from Phoenix Shaving this morning. Why? Well, because up in the sky tonight, you're going to see a lot of bright lights from all those great fireworks displays. Some communities probably had their fireworks displays last night or even the previous night. But today is the 4th of July, and that's traditionally when a lot of those fireworks displays go up. So a lot of great aerial displays, bright lights up in the sky, fireworks. Yeah, that's why we're using the alien space mug. Right, absolutely. So, wow, we got a great show for you today. Thanks so much for joining me. Hey, again, I hope you have the day off. If you don't have the day off, you happen to be working, well, join us in spirit on this national holiday. Thanks very much for tuning in. You know what? Let's get right to it like we do every week with a viewer morning shaving tip. Okay, this morning's shaving tip comes from viewer George Haven. And he writes, "Good morning, Mark, and thanks for another great Monday morning mailbag session." Thanks very much, George. I really appreciate that. My shaving tip is about bowl lathering. I decided quite a while ago that I wanted to choose a precise way to get a near perfect lather for my every other day shave routine. I went to Walmart to purchase a child's liquid medicine dispenser. To my surprise, they gave it to me at no charge. It is graduated in milliliters from 0 to 10, where about 5 milliliters equals 1 teaspoon. Before I get in the shower, I put in 5 milliliters of water on the soap to be used. It doesn't matter if it's a crope or a hard puck. The brush soaks while I'm in the shower. I'll take the brush and squeeze the water out so that it's consistently damp. If it's sterling, I'll load my brush for 20 seconds and 20 milliliters, about 4 teaspoons of water, will be added throughout the lather building process. That gives me a total of 25 milliliters, about 5 teaspoons. I like my lather wetter so that when I pull up a peak, it falls over in the bowl. With PAA soaps, I only need a 15-second load, and the same amount of water works for me. This method will make bunches of lather, which stays beautifully consistent throughout the entire shave. I'll use the excess lather as a post-shave face wash. There are so many great ingredients in the soap, and I don't want to waste it. Hope this helps others that might be interested in lather consistency. Type of water, brush type, and other factors can and should be experimented with. Your mileage may vary. Thanks and many blessings for the year, George Haven. George, that is fantastic. That's a great roadmap. And what I'm going to do is after this video airs later on in the morning, I'm going to grab your instructions here and pin that comment right at the top. So if folks want to follow this recipe, this routine on how to make this consistent lather, they can go ahead and read it right here, copy it, print it out, that sort of thing. So thanks very much for that, George. Absolutely fantastic routine recipe for making a consistent lather. I know a lot of viewers out there would greatly appreciate this and will absolutely give this a go. So to say thanks, for you and only you, an original signed George sketch. So please email me your snail mail address at mondaymailbag@gmail.com, mondaymailbag@gmail.com, and I will send this to you post haste. And if you out there would like an original signed George sketch, all you have to do is email me a shaving tip. Email that tip to mondaymailbag@gmail.com, mondaymailbag@gmail.com. And if I use it on the Monday Morning Mailbag viewer shaving tip segment, you too will receive an original signed George sketch. So thanks again, George. I really do appreciate it. Hey, a George for a George. Thanks again, George. Really do appreciate it. Great tip. Okay, got to show you something really neat. I'm going to put my coffee over here so I don't spill it on anything. This came from Bill Murphy and his sister Bernice. This is really neat. Bill Murphy, well, he offered a shaving tip and he got a George sketch, and he sent along a picture of the sketch framed in his shaving den. He had the Burma Shave t-shirt. He was posed with his Burma Shave t-shirt. Maybe you recall that in a previous Monday Morning Mailbag. Anyhow, his sister Bernice is an artist. So he asked her to do a drawing of me. And I was totally taken by surprise by this. And here it is right here. Look at this. Look at that, huh? Isn't that wonderful? That's absolutely wonderful. Very nice, Bernice. Thank you very much. Now, I don't do caricatures and I don't do portraits. I'm just a cartoony kind of cartoonist. You know, I'm from the school of Bigfoot cartooning is what they call it. And I don't do this sort of work. And really, when I see someone do this kind of drawing, I'm impressed. I admire your skill and your artistic skill. Really just absolutely wonderful. Thank you very much. I'm very flattered. So thank you very much for this. I'll be shopping for a frame and yeah, displaying this proudly. Thank you very much, Bernice and Bill. Really do appreciate it. Well, you know, coffee's getting low. That time of the show, time to go back for a refill. Okay, we're off to a great start. I hope you went back for a refill. I sure did. Hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me this morning. Wow, got some great topics in this morning's refill, some great comments. We're going to revisit a few things here. We're going to kick it off with something from Bowtie RN, who writes, I was the one that posted the Amazon deal on Facebook. The deal was legit. I got it at 70%, but it went to 75% the next day. As a new wet shaver, I was glad to help out my fellow shavers. I have heard from a few of the other guys that got the deal after I posted. Greg Tardif was one of them. Well, Greg and Bowtie RN, congratulations. What are they talking about? They're talking about this right here. This is the Edwin Jagger 316 stainless steel razor. This is $136 on Amazon. It was 75% off. That works out to what, about $35-40, that sort of thing? Wow, what a great deal. I don't know how that happened, but Bowtie RN is confirming that he was the individual who let everyone know about this deal. And so great to hear that there were some wet shavers that got this razor at that incredible price because it is a fantastic razor. This one came from Daniel Maldwin. Very kindly, a viewer named Daniel Maldwin very kindly sent this to the channel, and I've reviewed it, and it is absolutely a wonderful razor. So keep your eyes peeled again. Maybe they'll do it again. Prime Day is coming up on July 12th and 13th. I'll be tweeting out deals over those 2 days, and who knows, maybe an Edwin Jagger 316 in stainless steel will come up at a really incredible price. I always like to look for safety razors and that sort of thing on Prime Day, and if I find something, I tweet it out. I know I got the Edwin Jagger Kelvin razor one year, I think for like maybe $12-15, something like that. Really, just a really neat price. And I think ordinarily it's anywhere from $25 to $35, something like that. So yeah, there are some deals on wet shaving gear on Prime Day. You have to dig a little bit. You have to look a little bit. And if I come across any, I will definitely be tweeting those out. So Bowtie RN, thanks for confirming that you were the individual that told everyone about that great deal on Amazon. Thanks very much for that. Leslie Fitzer wrote, Hi Mark, Mitchell's Wool Fat and Tabac have been two of my favorites for a while, but since Tabac changed the formula, Mitchell's Wool Fat has the crown. I hear it said it's difficult to lather, but I can honestly say I have never had a problem with it. Just burst in the lather, and I live in a hard water area. Well, he's talking about Mitchell's Wool Fat in this regard. I always use my Semogue 830. I will have to try different brushes to see if it makes any difference. Keep well and keep safe. Leslie, thanks very much. Leslie also sent along an image of the ingredients of the new Tabac formulation, because we've been talking about this in previous Monday morning mailbags. And in a previous Monday morning mailbag, I think it was last week, someone asked which is slicker, which is better, so to speak, Mitchell's Wool Fat or Tabac. And I remarked that I can only compare Mitchell's Wool Fat to the original Tabac formula, not the new vegan formula. Leslie has tried the new Tabac vegan formula. And as I recall, Leslie, I think you said it's okay, but it's not like the tallow-based original formula. If I'm incorrect on that, Leslie, please comment below and let us know. But he did send along the label of the ingredients on the new vegan formula. Now, during our discussion, I went up to Amazon and I decided, you know what, I'm going to get 2 more pucks. I had 2 pucks. I gave one to my nephew, Mike, because, he's, doing a little bit of shaving here and there. And I have 1 more puck. I thought, you know what, I'll get 2 more pucks and see if I get the tallow-based original formula or if I get the vegan formula. So I went up to a product page on Amazon, and I will link that page, and I ordered 2 pucks. And yeah, they gave me the original formula right here. I'll show you the ingredients. See if you can get a screenshot of that right there. I'll just hold it there. You can get a screenshot of it, and you can see that it says tallowate, potassium tallowate there, which is the tallow-based formula. The new label does not say potassium tallowate, so I am to assume that if it says potassium tallowate, it's a tallow-based original formula. If it doesn't say that, then you've got the vegan formula. That's a rather simplistic way of approaching it, but that's the way I understand it. If I'm wrong, anybody out there, let me know. But I've got the original formula right here, 2 more. So I'll link to that and see if you get the original or the vegan, because there are some reviewers who've said they've ordered from that page and they got the vegan by mistake and contacted the seller, and they were given the original tallow formula in place of the vegan. So just a heads up on that, and I will link that below. So Leslie, thanks for that feedback on Mitchell's Wool Fat and Tabac. Regarding your lathering experience with Mitchell's Wool Fat, wow, you know what? You're ahead of the curve if you can get Mitchell's Wool Fat to lather in hard water like that. Bravo! That's absolutely fantastic. And I think there's some tricks to it. We forgot to talk about the tips and tricks of Mitchell's Wool Fat. Some take the soap dish and put it right into the sink, the water sink, and let it kind of absorb the water that way. Others take it and will lather it upside down. All kinds of ways all kinds of tips and tricks to try to extract this great lather from Mitchell's Wool Fat. But great to hear that you get great lathers from it, Leslie. Thanks very much for confirming that as well. Viewer Thomas Beaton checked in and he said, "Hey Mark, as always, great Monday morning mailbag. My opinion on the term wet shaving is everything other than an electric razor is wet shaving. If you're using water, then you're wet shaving. I like the distinction of traditional for safety and or straight razors. I've heard people my age who are converting call it zero waste shaving. I think you can figure out their reasons." Yeah, I've seen that term too, zero waste shaving. I've seen a lot of razor manufacturers and razor sellers call it zero waste shaving. Yeah, but I also agree with you, and I think you've made a distinction here. Traditional means the safety razor and the straight razor versus just wet shaving, which could be a cartridge razor, single blade cartridge razor, any kind of razor, like you say, other than electric, because you're using water, it's wet. But traditional wet shave, as I've always understood it, is safety razor, straight razor. So yeah, and zero waste. Yeah, I think that's a good approach to get someone interested in the traditional wet shave. If that's a label that they can hang their hat on and introduce them to the traditional wet shave, sure, why not? That's great too. So thanks very much for that, Thomas. I really do appreciate it. Alan Hurst wrote, Mark, I was reading the comments and see there are still questions about blade coatings. Alan, thanks so much for this. Really do appreciate you posting this in the comments section of one of the videos. All coatings, platinum, chromium, PTFE, aka Teflon, and any other materials are applied the same way. A particle stream impregnating the blade edge below the surface. Once cooled, you will not be able to remove the coating. So for those who clean and wipe their blades, may do so without worry. P.S. Say hello to Ellie Mae for me. Yeah, there was a little banter about the Beverly Hillbillies back and forth. Yeah, hey, that's great information. Thanks very much for that, Alan. Really do appreciate the clarification on all that. So cork, wipe, whatever, according to Alan, you're not going to damage that blade edge. Great to hear. Ronnie Yates wrote, nice Monday morning mailbag, Mike. Hey, Ronnie, thanks very much. I agree we're in the golden age of shaving where there are many great artisans and products. Thanks for mentioning this too. Yeah, I think this is the golden age of wet shaving as well. As I've already said, there is so much out there. You'll find a razor, a blade, an aftershave, a brush, etc. that fits your skin and beard type and your budget. Absolutely, so many choices out there. The Slim and Fat Boy are to be adjusted as you mentioned. I tried when locked and there wasn't play to increase, but maybe some to decrease the setting. In any case, loosening the razor puts the least amount of stress on these old razors. I'd rather play it safe. Yes, correct. Hang on 1 minute. Let me get my Slim. I'll be right back. Okay, yeah, got them right here. My Slim and my Fat Boy. Yeah, I just wanted to get the razor to demonstrate on camera once again. The idea here is when you're adjusting it, because the previous question, the question in the previous Monday morning mailbag was, what's the proper way to adjust a Slim or a Fat Boy? And Ronnie is confirming the process for all of us. What I've heard is what you want to do is you want to make sure that these doors are loose like this, and then you can adjust it right here. It clicks into place from 1 to 9. Okay, then after you get your setting, let's say at 5, okay, then you close the doors, and now you give it a quarter turn to lock everything in place. Now that it's locked, you don't want to mess with this adjustment collar at all. It will put some stress on the internal workings of the razor as we understand it. Same thing with the Fat Boy. You want to loosen those doors up and then adjust it on the adjustment collar, and then close the doors and then give it that quarter turn to lock everything in place. Love these razors. Absolutely love this. Absolutely love these razors. But that's kind of the rule of thumb with the Gillette Slim and Fat Boy adjustable razors, that you want to loosen those doors and make the adjustment, then close the doors and give it that quarter turn to lock everything in place, and then continue with your shave. Yeah, these are fantastic razors. Look at estate sales, yard sales, garage sales for these. You may get one that you can get for a song. They are fantastic razors. This is my i3 Slim, which was replated by Chris Evett at razorplate.com. He did an absolutely spectacular job on it. Nickel plated, the original nickel plating. And this razor is going to last another 70 years. It's absolutely fantastic. So they're great. They're great. And the Fat Boy, boy, this is a special razor. This came from Jim from Northfield. Thanks again, Jim. This is a really, really special razor. And I think it's special because the run was limited from about 58 to 61, I think, somewhere in there. So there is a finite number of them out there, whereas the Slim was produced for many more years than the Fat Boy. I'm not sure how many more years the Slim was produced, but certainly more than 2.5, 3. And yeah, this hasn't been replated or anything like that, but it still gives great shaves. It still looks great. And there's one thing I always like to point this out. whenever I'm looking at this razor by itself, I'm not certain whether it's the Slim or the Fat Boy. The way I can tell for sure is when I open up the doors, okay, I got that one lazy door right there. And I know it's that way I know it's the Fat Boy. Whereas all my Slims, the few Slims that I have, the doors open up parallel nicely like that. They just open up very, very nicely like that. And the Fat Boy doesn't. So I know I know it's the Fat Boy. It's just kind of and I'm not going to have that corrected. I just think it's part of its vintage charm to me. But yeah, thanks very much for confirming that, Ronnie. Really, really do appreciate it. Viewer Lance Cooper wrote, I wish they made a brush scuttle with the same material as the travel scuttle. I don't like anything ceramic by my sink. Wow, that is an absolutely fantastic idea. Now, Lance is referring to the little bit of a mishap I had with my brush scuttle where I chipped it and I glued it back in. You can see the residual glue there and everything like that. And yeah, it caught me by surprise. I don't know how I did that. But yeah, it's none worse for the wear. It's got a little bit of a battle scar. And again, just like the lazy door on my Fat Boy, this little bit of chip, adds to its charm now. I know for sure that that's my that's my brush scuttle. But yeah, the travel scuttle, this is, high impact plastic. And wow, that's a great idea. And I know of other wet shavers and viewers out there who say they will use this as a brush scuttle. They won't build their lather in there. They'll just put some hot water in there. You can microwave the water inside this too if you want. And they'll just put the hot water in there and they'll just let their brush sit in there. And it works just like a brush scuttle. So, kind of a dual purpose. You could use it to build a lather and you can also just use it as a brush scuttle when you're doing face lathering. So yeah, something that I'm happy to be reminded of this because if I do travel, I'm going to take this, and more often than that, I'll probably use it as a brush scuttle. I'll do a bowl lather with it too, but yeah, I think using it as a brush scuttle is really, really neat, and it would be neat if, say, Phoenix Shaving, Doug and Fran, you were to make a brush scuttle out of this material here. That would be really, really neat. A lot of viewers suggested maybe steel, metal of some kind. It'd be kind of heavy, but this material would be great, especially in the shave den where it wouldn't shatter. Yeah, great idea, Lance. Thanks very much for that. Viewer Charles Price wrote, speaking of bars and pins, have you seen the new redesign of the Henson? They have beveled the edges and changed the lather channels. Looks almost like the winning razor now. Now, he spelled this L-A-R-G-E-R, larger channels. I think he meant lather channels. Anyhow, I said I had not seen it yet. Now, Keith Osmond and also Larry Slobotny did a little bit of follow-up on this, and we'll be talking about that in New Wet Shaving Gear when we talk about this redesign of the Henson razor. So stay tuned for that because there's some really, really interesting information regarding that. Ivan Kaz checked in. Hi, Mark. Another great show. I have also went on the jet boat ride many years ago, and it's awesome. Yeah, I talked about the jet boating on the Niagara River. Yes. Check out the previous Monday morning mailbag or check out the video I have on that on my channel. It is fabulous. It is a great time. So if you're in the Niagara Falls area and you want something really fun to do during the summer months, jet boating on the Niagara River, absolutely fantastic. I still remember hitting a wave and getting what seems like a bathtub full of water dumped on me all at once. Yeah, it is a wet ride. Incredible fun. Regarding not wiping the blade. Okay, okay, here we go. I have to agree that part of the reason the blade companies put that warning on the blade is due to litigation concerns. My favorite example of how out of control lawsuits have gotten and how companies have to cover their behinds is the Styrofoam Instant Ramen cups. They have a warning on the package that says, warning, contents may be hot. No kidding. I'm the guy that poured the boiling water into that cup. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Very true. I understand what you're saying, but yeah, perhaps there's no damage to wiping the blade. There's no damage to the edge, but maybe they are doing it for, covering their rear, so to speak. So thanks very much for that, Ivan. Really appreciate it. Bart Bartlett checked in. Speaking of wiping or not wiping blades, I found this comment at one of the shaving sites. This explanation makes a lot of sense. Quote, in the days of carbon steel blades, it used to be common practice for men to take the blades out of their razors and wipe them dry so they wouldn't rust. With the advent of stainless steel blades, the convenience of just rinsing the razor and leaving them in became a big selling point. Somewhere along the line, the notion of no need to wipe dry turned into do not wipe. That makes sense, Bart. Really, that really does make a lot of sense. Thank you very, very much for contributing that because that's another angle I had not thought of, and I'm sure other viewers may not have thought of that either. And if you're like me right now, the light bulb is going over your head. That's probably how it evolved. Yeah, thanks very much for that, Bart. Really do appreciate that. Viewer Charles K. checked in. Bravo, Mark. Another fine Monday morning mailbag for the books. Charles, thank you very much for your kind words. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for your time. Lots of great content, fun and instructive. Well, you know what? The instructive part comes from a lot of the viewers here, all the viewers, as a matter of fact. I need to say that because I am not an encyclopedia here. I am just gathering this information and giving it back to the community. The real wizards out there are all the viewers who send me the tips and tricks and information and leads on new wet shaving gear and all that great stuff. I learned quite a bit myself. So thanks to all the viewers. I say it over and over again, and I can't say it enough, really. Without the viewers, this channel and this show really wouldn't be anything. The viewers make this channel and they make this show. So thank you very much. Charles continues, I wonder if perhaps you are really a trained lawyer turned cartoonist, especially given how you distinguished wet shaving from traditional wet shaving. I concur wholeheartedly with your distinction between the two terms. In fact, my feeling is that your definition and explanation sets the bar going forward. Well done. Indeed, traditional wet shaving is the calling that we all pursue. Charles, thank you very much. Very, very kind of you to say that. But again, this is something that I've learned from other wet shavers on wet shaving forums and talking to viewers. I think this definition has been out there for quite some time. And really, I'm just offering it. It's not my own. It belongs to the wet shaving community, and there are a lot of others who have been doing this far longer than I have, who have made this distinction. And I am just echoing that and happy to do so. But I agree with you, though. Traditional wet shaving is what we all are pursuing with a safety razor or a straight razor. That great tradition of wet shaving with those tools. Absolutely agree with you, Charles, thanks very, very much for that. Really do appreciate it. And you know what? That brings us to another wrap up of the refill this week. Wow, a lot of great comments from a lot of viewers. Thanks so much for all your input. Really, really do appreciate it, folks. We'll do it again next week. Okay, time to check out some new wet shaving gear. Well, we got a lot of items this week in new wet shaving gear, and we're going to kick it off with something that I received an email this past week from Bull Goose Shaving. The Asylum Injector Razor, coming soon. Well, at the time I received it, they said coming soon, July 1st. Well, July 1st was this past Friday, so it's already launched and out there. And I hope it's still available by the time this episode of Monday Morning Mailbag airs. And they wrote in their email and also on their product page, I believe, the idea for the Asylum Injector Razor has been percolating since the summer of 2012 when I met with Larry Calderon, a product engineer, in a Pasadena IHOP restaurant. The goal was to produce a more nimble version of the Asylum RX that took injector blades. The execution of the design proved more difficult than we anticipated, so the razor was put on the back burner for nearly 10 years. The Asylum Injector is produced using 316L stainless steel. It is a bit lighter than the RX, weighing it at 99 grams, and the shave is ever so slightly milder than the RX. Due to the smaller head, it is more nimble than the RX and is an excellent choice for those with a goatee. The last two pictures show the Asylum Injector next to the Asylum RX for perspective. So that has been launched. Wanted to give you a heads up on it. It's $189. So if you are familiar with the Asylum Razor and you are interested in trying their new Asylum Injector Razor, I will have the link below. It just launched July 1st. So you know what? If you have one, if you're going to get one, please comment below. Let us know. The Asylum Injector Razor from Bull Goose Shaving. Well, with summer here, that means travel, weekend getaways, or maybe getting away for a week or so, that sort of thing. And that also means travel safety razors. Now, I have shown you and I've reviewed the Parker A1R, which is a wonderful 4-piece travel razor right here. 4 pieces. Let me show it to you. I'll pull it out again. Here is the one part of the handle, and what I like to do is I like to screw in like that to get out that top part of the handle there. Now, the bottom part of the handle is hollow, okay? The bottom part of the handle is hollow. And then here is the razor head right here, okay? And I like to also put in a little buffer ring on that also, like that. And that sits on there very, very nicely. And goes together like that. And there it is. It's a really nice travel razor. So if you're thinking about traveling this summer, weekend getaway, or you're going away for a week or so and you want a nice travel razor, Parker A1R really delivers a nice shave. But I was curious about what else was available, and I only knew of 2, the Merkur travel razor and the Parker travel razor. And Phoenix Shaving also has one as well. I believe it's sold out at the moment. At the time this is going to air, hopefully they'll get that back in stock, because I'd like to try that one and review it. But just typing in into the Google search engine a lot of different terms, this one happened to come up. And I remember seeing this a few years ago, and it was not available. It's available again. Here it is from Classic Samurai. It's their travel razor, very similar to what I just showed you, 4-piece razor. Comes in a very nice leather case, okay, like this. Okay, a little roomier than the A1R. Here's the A1R case. Here's the case for the Parker. Let me show you that right there. Kind of compare those two. Okay, and here it is. It's 4 pieces in there, just like the bottom part of the handle. Here is the razor head here. Now there's an elastic band on the inside. And that band is stitched through the case, which is what this is right here. This is the stitching that holds that elastic band in place, and it'll secure the razor head and the handles and that sort of thing. Although I'm not using it that much. And I also have a buffer ring for this razor head too. Now it is nicely chromed, not bad at all. Just like the Parker A1R. Okay, it's not very nicely chromed, not bad at all. And my understanding is the handle is brass construction, but here's the thing. The bottom part of the handle is solid. It has a little more heft than the Parker A1R or the Merkur. I believe the Merkur also has a hollow bottom part of the handle. So this is solid. That's a nice, solid feel to the handle. It has a little more heft. And we're going to go ahead and attach this. Now, when I first got this, I almost sent it back because I had a devil of a time getting this screwed on to the base plate and the cap there. But it has worked its way in. I put a little bit of oil on it. It was fine. And the O-ring acts as a little buffer, so I'm not tightening up as much. So it seems to close up a little more smoothly with the buffer ring. Now, when I take the buffer ring off, I'll just take that off. Buffer ring's off now. Okay, you can see that. And I put that on. Towards the end there, no, it's fine. No, it's loosened up and it's broken in very, very nicely. So when you get this, if those threads are tight, just a little bit of oil. You can get a little bit of shaving oil, something like that. That's what I used. And just put those on the threads and just work that in ever so gently, and it'll be fine. But yeah, that is really nice. Edwin Stagger Edwin Jagger style razor head. They have their logo on there like that, Classic Samurai. Here it is next to the Parker A1R. And again, it has a little more heft than the Parker A1R. And it has a solid handle, which I like. This is hollow on the bottom. Now, they're both good. I shaved with this one. I was very impressed with it. I have to do a review. I was very impressed with it. Very, very nice, mild, efficient shave. Absolutely wonderful. Would love to travel with this. Absolutely. I could travel with either one of them, and they're both very, very good. But this one was really very mild and efficient. And again, just a little tight when I first got it, screwing it on, but it proved to be a really nice razor, and I was able to break that in with no problem just by gently turning it and just working in with a little bit of oil. And again, you can see here that it's a solid handle. I mean, it's nice and solid. It's not hollow on the bottom. So yeah, this was really nice. I really enjoyed it. And here's the best part: less than $20. That's what's so nice about it. Less than $20. Really terrific, terrific one. This is another one I'm going to be looking for on Prime Day to see if this goes on sale. Because if this goes on sale, I'm going to snap up another one. We'll make a nice gift, that sort of thing. So yeah, the Classic Samurai Travel Razor. And as long as we're talking about travel, of course, we mentioned the Parker A1R. Great, great travel razor. I think it's about probably $10 more, something like that. Not sure the exact price point, but it is a little more, a few dollars more, maybe $5 to $10 more, maybe $12 more, somewhere in there than the Classic Samurai. But I'll link both of them. But as long as we're talking about travel razors, also the other one that you might want to check out is the Gillette Tech Travel Razor. If you can find one of these, boy, you can find one of these. These are always on eBay. They seem to be very, very plentiful, and they are not a lot of money. And they come with these little leather cases. Now, mine's damaged a little bit. I had to glue it back together, so I'm going to be looking for another case for it. But yeah, that's what it is right there, like that. That's a real travel razor right there. But yeah, the case allows you to store the razor head, the handle, and also some blades. So that's a really neat option for travel as well. Also, here's one other option for travel razors, and that's the Heritage Razor from Gillette. It comes in a nice clamshell case, and there you have your, I'll take the information out there. There you have your handle, your razor head, and your blades. And that's not a bad size for travel, considering the Classic Samurai. Look at that. About the same size. See that? About the same size. So yeah, this is a good option too. And last but not least and there are some other choices out there, but this is another one I wanted to show you, is the Rex Envoy. Here's the travel case for the Rex Envoy, and it has a nice little strap like there, and the leather strap opens up like that, and that houses the Rex Envoy in this really beautiful, I think that's walnut wood, right in there like that. I'll have to get the description and take a look at that. I didn't double check that before I started shooting video here, but then it just slips right back in there like that. Very nice and secure, keeps the razor protected. This is for the short-handled razor. They also make one for the longer-handled version as well. So yeah, and that's great too. And that's not much bigger than what we're talking with the Heritage either. I mean, so that's a nice travel size too. That'll fit into your adopt kit rather nicely. And this is a great razor. This really delivers a nice shave. They all deliver nice shaves, but stainless steel here from the Rex Envoy, really very, very, very nicely machined. So that's it for travel razors. Wanted to mention that to you. And again, the Classic Samurai, really, really terrific travel razor. Bonus points for a little roomier pouch, leather pouch, and also for a solid handle. I believe it's brass construction, a brass frame. So less than $20. Really, really nice deal. So just wanted to mention that to you because it's summer, and if you're gonna be traveling, some really, really great options. Some really, really great options for travel razors. Okay, let's get into this discussion about the Henson razor and its redesign. Now, earlier we mentioned Charles Price pointing out that it looked like there was a new razor on the Henson website, when in fact it's a redesign of their Henson razor. Now, here's mine right here. This is the original design of it right here. And viewers Keith Osmond and Larry Slobotny wrote the company, and each of them received some very, very kind answers from the folks at Henson. Keith wrote, hi Mark. He wrote, hey Mark, in yesterday's Monday morning mailbag, one commenter mentioned that Henson has introduced some changes in their design. I looked at their site and there were definitely differences in appearance. So I reached out to Henson about it. Below is their reply. I think the razor is visually more sophisticated, but the changes also all sound very functional. A couple of months ago, I purchased one of their limited run AL13 aggressive razors, and I'm pretty sure they'd included the handle upgrade even then. It looked the tiniest bit bigger and definitely felt grippier compared to my older medium. Passing this along in case you want to share with viewers. Now, they wrote back to Keith and they said, hi, Keith. The design team weighed both customer feedback and test results to introduce several enhancements to both the AL13 and TI-22 razors. Increased grip. The overall diameter of the handle has been increased by 0.010 inches. Also, the texture portions of the handle have been made more pronounced. Both of these changes improve overall grip and handling of the razor. Reshaped channels. The lather channels in the base plate have been reshaped and the center webs of the lather slots have removed, resulting in improved hair and lather evacuation. I think they meant have been removed. Softened edges and added bevels. The edges of the base plate and top cap have been softened in an effort to reduce any unwanted sharpness from the outer edges and corners of the razor head. Also, a large bevel has been added to the outer corners of the razor head. These changes improve comfort, control, and precision during shaving, especially when maneuvering around obstacles such as next to the nose and mouth. And you can see here, right? Yeah, you can see here, this is these original here. It's kind of a sharp edge there. Although I've never had a problem, but you know, your mileage may vary. Removed end post. The small posts at the ends of the blade gap have been removed from the base plate. One resulting benefit of this is that the very ends of the razor blades are able to perform better. Also, since the shape of the lather channel is now completely through the razor head, rinsing of the razor is improved. Added razor head grip. Indents have been added at the ends of the razor head to assist with gripping the head for assembly and disassembly for blade changes, cleaning, etc. Chip groove. A small notch has been added to the top of the top cap threaded post to help keep the threads clean and free of debris. All the best, Tanya from Henson Shaving. So that's great, Keith. Thanks very much for sending along that very, very detailed response from Henson. Now, Larry Slobotny also contacted Henson, and here is their response to Larry. You will notice on our website, only the AL13 has been changed to the beveled edges. We have not yet updated the TI-22. Now, the reason why Larry sent this along is because he purchased the titanium version, the TI-22 of the Henson razor, and received the older design. The website and images at your time of purchase of the TI-22 would all be the original edges. This would also be the case in your confirmation emails, etc. Larry goes on to say, I asked Henson why they did the beveled edges, and Daniel responded, we did the beveled edge for a couple of reasons. Firstly, we had some customers say the razor corner was sharp itself, not the blade, but the razor. This was particularly an issue for users using shaving areas other than their face. We also removed the notch channel at the end that allows for easier hair removal. Again, this was primarily an issue for customers shaving larger surface areas, such as legs or body, where clogging would be an issue. We did not find clogging to be an issue for customers shaving their face. We decided to make the razor easiest for all users, and these changes did not affect the areas that customers already loved about our original design. So thanks very much for that, Larry, for clarifying that. And thank you very much, Keith. And just know that right now, according to what Larry is saying, that the titanium is the original design. They have not yet updated the titanium razor to this newer version of the AL13. So just be aware of that. Larry, thanks very much for pointing that out to viewers. Really do appreciate it, because I know some of you out there may be considering buying the titanium version. Well, if you want the original, you'll know that now is probably the time to buy. And if you want the updated version, you'll probably have to wait a little bit until they make those changes in their production and that sort of thing. But the newer version of the Henson razor is available. This is the original version. I like it a lot. It's great for face shaves, great for head shaves. So if you're interested in the original version, you might want to contact them and see if they have any of these left in stock, and specifically ask for it, is what my guess would be. So thanks very much, Keith and Larry, regarding the Henson, and also thanks, Charles, for pointing that out. Really do appreciate it, gentlemen. Okay, we've been talking about shaving soap this morning. We've been talking about Mitchell's Wool Fat and the original Tabac, the vegan version of Tabac, that sort of thing. Well, I came across a shaving soap that was $7 on Amazon. Here it is right here. I've used it before in stick form. This is Derby Premium Barber Shave Soap right here. And you've seen me review and use the Derby shave stick right here. I don't know if there's much difference between the two formulas. This one is their premium barber shave soap, whereas this one is just a Derby shave soap stick. So it'll be interesting to see what the difference in performance is between the two of them. But the scent, very, very similar. And it comes in a case like this. It comes in a bowl here. Now, plastic lid like that, which isn't, it's just a small plastic lid. $7 for this. And it's 125 grams on the container. You can see right here, 125 grams on the container. Okay, get a look at that. And here it is right here. I already had a peek of it, Derby, right like that. Now, the container is not ceramic. It feels like it's a cardboard with a plastic label of some kind fused around it. So my guess is sooner or later you're going to have to probably move this out of this container and put it into a ceramic shave bowl or a metal shave bowl, because I don't think this is going to last through repeated uses with water. If you're going to put some water on top of the puck, that sort of thing. That's just my guess. But yeah, it has a similar fresh scent to Arco, but it's not as pungent. It's not as overwhelming as Arco. It's a little more subdued. It's very, very quite pleasant. It's a pleasant, soapy kind of smell, if you will. And again, 125 grams. Now, Alexa, how many ounces is 125 grams?
125 grams is about 4.41 ounces.
Okay, 4.41 ounces, 4.4 ounces. On the product page, it said 140 grams, which is, Alexa, how many ounces is 140 grams?
140 grams is about 4.9 ounces.
Okay, so it's almost 5 ounces was what they advertise on the product page, 140 grams. But in actuality, the container is labeled 125 grams, just so you know. But it's $7. And we're gonna definitely review this one and see how it compares to the shave stick, because it says premium barber shaving soap. So really looking forward to reviewing this one. Again, really nice price point, almost 4.5 ounces of soap for $7. Can't beat that, that's for sure. And it's available on Amazon. Really be interested to see if this is going to be on sale during Prime Day, because wow, that'd be something if you had, like, say, you got 50% off this. If you got 50% off of this, or 40% or 15%, that sort of thing, that'd be kind of a neat deal. But we're going to go ahead and review this also and see how it performs. But just want to make mention of the Derby Premium Barber Shaving Soap on Amazon for only $7. Almost 4.5 ounces of shave soap. Comes in a rather, I guess you could say, a rather practical shaving container. but eventually I don't think it's going to hold up under the stress of water and repeated usage. You'll probably have to put in another shaving bowl. But really, for $7, can't beat it. We'll see how similar it is to the shave stick, and looking forward to using it and reviewing it. Derby Premium Barber Shaving Soap on Amazon, $7. Okay, viewer Jamie Horn wanted to let us know the following. Hey Mark, I was just curious. I found this as part of my shaving routine at the beginning of the year. Proraso Post-Shave Barbershop Powder. You purchase the shaker and you purchase the pouch to fill it with individually. About $8 for the tin and $5 to $10 for a pouch. 2 pouches fill this shaker. I have had and used every shave one of these since the beginning of the year. For me, it's alum stone, aftershave, Proraso Post-Shave Barbershop Powder. The Italians are amazing in their shaving and barbershop heritage. Oh, I agree with that, absolutely. The first time I refilled from Proraso USA. The second time from ShaveNation.com. They sell it to customers because Proraso says that you need to be a licensed barber to get it. But Shave Nation retails it for sure for $10 a pouch. Plus, they sell the shaker tin as well. Hey, thanks very much for that, Jamie. That's great. I will definitely link GeoFatBoy ShaveNation.com website where you can get these products. If you're into a post-shave powder, that's a good one. And I agree with Jamie. The Italians have some great products and some great traditions that go with the traditional wet shave. So absolutely. So Jamie, thanks very much for passing this along. Really, really do appreciate it, folks. I'll link it below to both websites. You can see both of them there, but know that you're more likely to be able to purchase both the shaker and the powder pouch from ShaveNation.com. Also, Jamie passed along a fabulous, fabulous seller on Etsy. This seller is called Dapper Studio CC. You can get all kinds of vintage razors up there. Earlier we talked about the Fat Boy and the Slim. Well, they have a lot of vintage Gillette razors up there that are in just beautiful, beautiful condition. So I will link to them as well. Jimmy passed this along because I think he acquired a vintage razor from them. And the price points seem to be very, very good for what they're offering. Great photos, so you can kind of investigate it and see what the razor looks like and that sort of thing. And I'm sure you can contact the seller and ask him or her questions about what is for sale up there and kind of get specifics on the razor that you might see pictured. So I will definitely link them below, Dapper Studio CC on Etsy. It's www.etsy.com/shop/Dapper Studio CC. So thanks for sending that along, Jamie. Really, really do appreciate it. Viewer Just a Man left the following comment in the comment section of the review I did on the King C Gillette razor. And he said, to this day in Europe, it costs 50 to 70% less than in the US. Interestingly, I've seen another razor with this exact head. It is made by Müller for a German drugstore with a similar name. The razor has no name. It's called a double-edged razor. The handle was taken from the model traditional, but without the letters Müller. Now, I'm assuming when you say the model traditional, you're talking about the Müller handle. They just don't have any of the carving of the name Müller or anything else on the handle. And interesting that you mentioned that because Müller, from what I understand, they will make their razors for other resellers. And since Prime Day is coming up and it's quickly approaching, I thought I'd mention this razor that was made by Müller. Give you a heads up on it. I'm wondering if it's going to be on sale. It's the Q Brothers razor right here. It's got Q right there. And this is an R89, a Müller R89. And it gives an absolutely wonderful, wonderful shave. And there it is right there. And it is very, very similar to the Müller. But again, there is no carving on the bottom knob here or anywhere on the neck. It's just the letter Q up there to distinguish it as the Q Brothers razor. And again, they say on their product page, this has been made for them by Mueller Razors. And as I understand it, it's an R89. So at the time I bought this, I think I bought this either before or after Prime Day, which is why I'm mentioning this, because I'm hoping this goes on sale because you can get an R89 at a really, really good price. It just says Q Brothers on it. At the time I bought it, I got it at a considerable savings over an R89. I think an R89 was about $35, $40, and I think this was like $28, something like that. I can't remember the exact numbers, to be perfectly honest with you. That could be that could be in the ballpark, but the point is I saved anywhere from $12 to $15, something like that. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less, but somewhere in there, and I thought it was a good deal. And it shaves, it gives a wonderful shave. So this is another razor I'm hoping will be on sale during Prime Day because Q Brothers, it's an R89, and it really does deliver a nice shave. So Just a Man, thanks very much for that information. If you could, tell us the drugstore where this King C Gillette is available. Tell us the stores where the King C Gillette is available for other viewers across the pond. And also the razor with no name, what drugstore that's available at and that sort of thing. I'm sure people over there in your neck of the woods would be interested in knowing where they can get those razors. So thanks very much, Just a Man. Really, really do appreciate it. Viewer James Daigle wrote, "Hi, Mark. Just received my atomic rocket and used it today. I love it. Feels great in the hand when lathering. I prefer to bow lather. Nice and soft on the face and head, and it whipped up a luxurious lather in no time flat. I had an excellent shave. I'm going to have to do a lather face-off with the Atomic Rocket and the Star Wisp. I can't tell which I like more currently." And he mentioned the gear he used for that shave was the Atomic Rocket, of course, Pacific Shaving Company, all-natural shaving cream, a Mule Rocca for head and face, and Mule R106 for shaving around my ears and my ears themselves. Both razors were loaded with Gillette Nasset blades. I have the Phantom Aerolite on the way, so who knows who will win the spot of my favorite brush. Good day to you and all the other wet shaving gents out there. We'll always talk about the Phantom Aerolite. That's a 24 millimeter knot. But the two most recent brushes that are new on the market from Phoenix Shaving are the Star Wisp with the 26 millimeter knot and the Doppler, which is also a 26 millimeter knot with the butterscotch handle. Thanks, Mom. Really appreciate that. And they're both great. And of course, the Atomic Rocket also is a 26 millimeter knot. And yeah, it has a great handle. I really like this handle because you can get a really nice grip, especially when you're lathering to do a head shave. Really does a nice job. The Star Wisp handle is similar in that functionality. Really provides a nice grip. And the Doppler has a really neat retro handle. Also gives a nice grip, but in a different way. So yeah, I agree with you, James. These brushes are great. They're all at really, really nice price points. And yeah, it's kind of difficult to see which one is your favorite. I think all three knots are very, very good. Very, very soft. I think the Star Wisp and the Doppler have more of a gel-like feel than the Atomic Rocket, but they're all very nice and soft, and they do a great job whipping up lather. The main differences are in the shape of the handles, and they all have these great retro designs. This great throwback to yesteryear. We talk about the traditional wet shave. Well, this allows you to really experience the traditional wet shave even more because the designs of these brushes are based on those classic shaving brushes from 30s, 40s, 50s, that sort of thing. So yeah, that's why I like these Phoenix Shaving shave brushes so much, because it allows you to experience the traditional wet shave even more at that vintage level using new technology to produce them. That's absolutely great. So thanks very much for that, James. Really do appreciate it. Great reminder of the great shaving brushes that are available from Phoenix Shaving. And yeah, love the Atomic Rocket. And again, if you're looking for a shaving brush, check out the shaving brushes at Phoenix Shaving. I'll have the link to all their shaving brushes below because they are very, very good. And as I say, a nice price point. So thanks again for the reminder, James. Really, really do appreciate it. Okay, James Daigle also followed up regarding the Pacific Shaving Company Natural Shaving Cream. I did a couple of reviews on this, and I found that it really created a nice lather using a good synthetic shaving brush. The boar brush was kind of so-so, but with a good synthetic shaving brush, this made a really, really nice lather, considering it's a natural shaving cream. Now, James wrote, I bought the Pacific Shaving Cream after watching your video and seeing how much you enjoyed it. Yes, I did enjoy it in that second video with a synthetic shaving brush. I prefer to use natural shaving products. You'd be surprised how fluffy it gets in a bowl with a good brush. Exactly. That's exactly what I discovered as well. I really like shaving soaps now that I have good brushes. They make all the difference. Of course, you've been talking about the Atomic Rocket and the others that we mentioned just previously. They make all the difference. I started with a cheap Badger brush and smooth bottom bowl. I had a lot of trouble achieving a stable lather. After watching videos of yours and other gents, I discovered the PAA brushes and slow feed dog bowls. That was the game changer right there. Those are those bowls that have those little knobs in them to slow dogs down from eating too quickly. You can use them as shaving bowls. Absolutely. We've talked about those on the channel before. I no longer struggle to get a good lather, and I get it quickly with the mighty PAA brushes, all without spending a fortune. Yeah, now, as long as we're talking about the synthetic brushes and the natural shave cream, this did a really nice job of developing a lather. I did want to point out not only this product as a shaving cream, and this is a nice size because it is TSA compliant. They make it this size so that you can absolutely travel with this. And we've been talking about travel safety razors. This would be a good tube of shaving cream to take because it is TSA compliant. Now, the other natural shaving soap that I like is from Chagrin Valley Soap and Salve Company. They make a nice natural shave soap. The lather is nice. It works up well with the brush, and they even have a terrific shaving bowl here. And I'll link to that one as well. Shaving bowl there, and I've got some of the shave soap in there like that. Yeah, a nice lemon lime scent. Makes a nice lather. It is not as robust and rich and full as you would get with some other artisan shave soaps out there, but it is a natural shave soap. So you're not going to get the rich density Santa Beard kind of fluffiness from this product as you would an artisan soap. But it is still a very, very nice lather considering it's a natural shave soap. Now, having said that, I want to point this out because my nephew Mike and his fiancee, Brittany, this past Christmas, they sent me a couple of shave soaps that are natural from Glen Avenue Soap Company in Columbus, Ohio. Here it is right here. Their shaving soap is the Fresh right here and also the Forest. I've reviewed the Fresh on the channel. Go check out that video review. Yeah, this has got an absolutely wonderful scent. And this soap puck right here in a nice metal tin like this, so you don't have to transfer it to another ceramic bowl or metal bowl. You can use this right here. Very robustly made. This develops probably the best lather of any of the natural shaving soaps or creams that I've used. And again, the ones I've used are the Pacific Shave Company, the Chagrin Valley, and this one here. This is the best. It really is. And the Forest, I have not used or reviewed it yet, but I guess it's just a nice organic kind of scent. Very, very nice. I haven't used it or reviewed it yet. I'm gonna have to do that. But a terrific lathering shave soap. Really, really very good. And they also make a moisturizer. They make a moisturizer post-shave in the Forest scent and also in the Fresh scent. I'm going to have to use these again on camera because they are wonderful. Really like Glen Avenue Soap Company Natural Shave Soap. really, the lather that I got out of this was probably the best of the ones that I've showed you. They're all good, but this gave you more of a traditional, full, rich lather, and being a natural shave soap. So that was very, very good. So I just wanted to pass that along. And again, I find that these products work best with a synthetic shaving brush. I've used the boar brush with the Pacific shaving cream, and for some reason the synthetic brush works better with that product. And I used to say that I would use a natural hair brush like a badger or a boar with shave cream and just use the synthetic brushes for face lathering. You know what? I'm using synthetic brushes across the board. And I will use boar brushes from time to time. There's some very good ones out there, and we'll talk about that just a little bit. Don't worry, we'll talk about that a little bit. But yeah, these synthetic brushes are absolutely wonderful. And the ones from Phoenix Shaving, check them out. Once again, the Doppler, the Star Wisp, and the Atomic Rocket, as well as the others that are offered up there. So thanks again for that, James. Really, really do appreciate it. And that's it for this week's new shaving gear. Wow, some great, great stuff out there. Thanks to everyone who contributed. Really do appreciate it. We'll do it again next week. Okay, let's get to some of these questions and comments. Okay, viewer Rob Ross emailed and wanted to point out that Sharpologist had done a review of Cremo shave cream. And he wrote that his conclusion is that Cremo by itself is fair, but shines in combination with another shave cream. Yeah, we've talked about Cremo in the past. So Robert, thanks very much for passing this along. Great reminder. Cremo is great as a pre-shave. It's also good as a standalone shave cream that is brushless. You just work it in with your hands. Great if you're in a pinch and have to get out the door in a hurry, that sort of thing. But yeah, very, very good as a pre-shave that you could use with other artisan shave soaps, shave creams, that sort of thing. Yeah, so I like it a lot as a pre-shave and use it from time to time as a pre-shave. I'll also use this for head shaves by itself sometimes. If I'm kind of pressed for time, I'll use this. Again, I love doing the traditional wet shave, getting a brush, getting the artisan shave soap or a Tabac or a Proraso, something like that. Absolutely love the process, but realize that there are times when that may not be possible and you have to get a shave, you have to get out the door, you're kind of pressed for time, whatever the reason is. So this comes in handy in a pinch, but great as a pre-shave. If you're going to go through the process of doing the traditional wet shave, this is a really nice first step as a pre-shave. So thanks very much for pointing out the review. I will link to it below, folks, so you can read for yourself and drink it all in, because Mantic 59 does a wonderful, wonderful job of reviewing a lot of these wet shaving products. So Robert Ross, thanks very, very much for that. Really do appreciate it. Okay, viewer Just a Man wrote the following. It took 14 terrible shaves to get used to my Fatip open comb. I would not recommend it to a beginner. However, now that I know how to use it properly, it is a very pleasant razor. Now, thanks very much for this, Just a Man. This is a nice reminder to point out that the Fatip is really a mild razor, but there was one production run where the razors came off the assembly line a little more aggressive than they had intended. I happened to contact the company some time ago, a year or so ago, maybe a couple of years ago, and a representative there wrote me back, and this is what he wrote. Mr. Zarady, it's always a pleasure receiving your reviews. It seems the comments and rumors about the production pre and post 2017 were emphasized by the Fatip lovers like a sort of legend. To be honest, all this story was generated by a little mistake in one production, only one, made in 2016. The curve of the cap and or comb of the cutting head was slightly different, so the blade was more exposed. The standard production before and after that odd production was like the new ones. We know that some Fatipers were in love with the more aggressive production, but the majority prefer the cutting performance of the standard production. Yeah, that's absolutely what's going on. So, Just a Man, I'm thinking you got one of those odd production runs of your Fatip razor. Just a hunch, just a guess, but if you were to get another Fatip razor produced in 2020, 2021, 2022, post 2016, 2017, whatever the year was, you'd probably get one like I have, which is beautifully mild, wonderfully efficient, and just a real joy and pleasure to use. But there are some wet shavers out there, as was pointed out by the rep from Fatip. They absolutely love that more aggressive version from that one odd production run. So I just wanted to point that out again. As a great, your comment was a great opportunity to revisit this subject and point it out to folks that if you do come across a Fatip razor, I don't know, let's say on eBay or online someplace, make sure you ask the seller what year it's from, and then knowing right around the time that it was about maybe 2016, something like that, you may have, that razor may be from that one odd production run, because he says here, again, to be honest, all this story was generated by a little mistake in one production run made in 2016. So if you have something that's post 2017, you're going to have a razor like I have right here. That 2016 production run, you may have that odd production run where the razor is more aggressive than the standard Fatip razor. So if you come across anybody selling one online, ask them, was it made in 2016 or was it made after 2017? That's what I would do. So yeah, thanks very much for that, Just a Man. I really do appreciate it. It serves as a great reminder to kind of go over the history of that one odd production run and why there is difference there. Again, a lot of wet shavers love the more aggressive 2016 production run. So yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying yours, and it sounds like, I don't know, just a hunch, maybe you got the 2016 production run. Not sure, can't be 100% sure, but let me know where you bought it. If you bought it brand new, it would be something if you bought it brand new. I don't know, just let us know some more details on it, and maybe we can kind of pin it down as to whether or not you got the 2016 production run, or maybe if it's a newer razor, maybe they had the same mistake in another recent production run. I don't know. But mine is very, very mild, very, very efficient. Really, really do like this razor a lot. Thanks again, Just a Man. Really do appreciate it. Viewer Crazyzation followed up with comments regarding the Fatip Grande. He happened to say, the Fatip Open Comb is probably the best value razor on the market for under $25. I've got the Grande in gold and Piccolo in nickel. I have the Piccolo in nickel as well. And this is the Grande here. Yeah, only my Mule R41 outshines them, but that's another story, a Mule R41. Well, that's a rather aggressive razor. So yeah, it sounds like you like a razor that's a little more aggressive. I prefer the mild shaves that these razors give, and the difference, same razor head on each of these. The difference is it's a longer handle and it's hollow, and this is a shorter handle and it's solid. Both of these are great, great razors. And yeah, they're solid brass construction and they're nickel plated, so it's a real nice throwback to the vintage Gillettes that we've been talking about that were, I believe that these were brass construction and nickel plated. Fantastic razor. So yeah, this is kind of like a modern day throwback, vintage kind of feel to these razors, which is why I like them so much. And I just bought the Fatip Slant Open Comb and look forward to that. I used the Piccolo for 5 years nonstop. Everyone that's into DE shaving must have a Fatip. I agree. Early on, I visited a lot of wet shaving forums, and they talked highly of the Fatip Piccolo and also of the Grande. So yeah, these are absolutely wonderful, wonderful razors, and I really do like them a lot, and they really do they offer some great, great shaves. So yeah, thanks very much for that crazyzation. Really do appreciate the comments regarding the Fatip razors. This comes from viewer Jimmy V Photography, and he writes, "Hi Mark, a way I found to keep the brush warm and something shatterproof is to use the PAA Travel Scuttle." Yeah, we just talked about that, and Jimmy V puts this into practice. I've used it, and it does a great job of keeping the brush warm in a chip-proof container. But I do so love the elegance of the porcelain Moonscape Scuttle, so it's careful use of the Moonscape Brush Scuttle at home and the Travel Scuttle on location. Yeah, Jimmy V is a professional photographer, and he's traveling to locations for photo shoots. And yeah, he takes his Travel Scuttle, uses it as a brush scuttle while he's traveling. Thanks very much for that, Jimmy. Really do appreciate that. He goes on to say, speaking of brushes, that Doppler is amazing. Yeah, it really is. It's my daily now. Does everything perfectly. Total lather beast. Solar Flare is my travel brush. It's a super great brush, perfect travel size, and it's in butterscotch. Thanks, Mom. Thanks for that, Jimmy. I appreciate that. Here he adds a technique tip. Sometimes new shavers have more irritation on one side of the neck versus the other. Something I found to help them, it helped me when starting out, and my son-in-law when he mentioned the asymmetrical irritation. Use the opposite hand to the side that's getting the irritation. I'm right-handed and found my right neck had more irritation. I had been putting more pressure on that side. Switching to my left hand gave me better results. It felt awkward, but the results were there. That showed me my technique needed tweaking, so I worked on it. Now both sides come out equal using my right hand. Something fun. Start learning to shave with a non-dominant hand. It feels so strange, but it's a fun challenge. Who knows? It might come in handy someday. I've started to work on training my left hand to do a lot of normally right hand tasks. My little stroke really scared me when I couldn't use my right hand. That made me realize how helpless I would be. I'll probably never get the left to equal the right, but at least it will be functional for many daily tasks. He also adds here, some things to add to the modern shaving problems. Finding where the shaving lather that threw off the brush landed. Yeah. The paradox of how an alum block can make everything grippy except itself. Exactly when to say boom lather. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for following along. Well, it's been a long day. Cameras are getting their rest with batteries charging, and I'm about to do the same. I'm thinking tomorrow is going to be a diver down kind of day. Yeah, diver down from Phoenix Shaving. Great shaving soap. Love that scent. It's got a great kick. If you haven't used it, give it a shot. It is terrific. Jimmy, thanks very much for all the great comments. Thanks for the thanks, Mom, comment about the butterscotch handle and also the boom lather. Really do appreciate it, Jimmy. Thanks very much for the really great tips and tricks. Dominant, non-dominant hand. Great stuff. Thanks again. Well, we've been talking about shaving brushes, synthetic shaving brushes, and Mark Bagwell checked in regarding a boar brush and a new method of breaking it in. He writes, I'm trying a new method of breaking in a boar brush. The person I got this method from claims a boar brush fully broke in and soft after only 3 days. I'm somewhat dubious but willing to try. I'll let you know if it works. Now, I asked him, is this the cold water method by any chance? And he said, nope, it's the sun method. The sun method, I thought. Okay, he went on to say, you soak your brush, wring it dry, and shake it. Then place it in the sun. Repeat this 3 times for a new brush, and the guy swears it totally splits the hair and the brush is completely broken in. I will add the photo he posted. Right now, I have a Zenith brush I'm experimenting on. It's day 1. The guy said it's 3 days for a totally new brush, but a semi-broken brush might take as little as 1 day. I'm hoping he's telling me right. Anyway, giving it a try. Here's the photo he posted, and that's the photo right there. Mark, still another day on the brush. It's been 2 days so far, but I thought I would show you where I'm at. The first photo is a stock photo which is what my brush looked like before I started. Okay, great. This is kind of showing us the progress here of what he's got here. And he's using a Zenith 80R model shaving brush with the red handle. Just so we know. And one more day to go, but it's already soft. I thought that's impressive. It was supposed to be put outside in the sun, but I didn't have a table that would get enough sunlight, so I stuck it on the windowsill. I would say it's already a success. I'm happy with it. He goes on to say here a little bit of I guess he's tweaking the routine a little bit. When I soak the brush, I do a palm lather, squeeze dry, and shake. Then I put that brush on the windowsill facing the sun. That was it. And the Zenith knots of the Zenith brush, the Zenith knots are thick knots. If you order your own brush, then let me know what you think. Well, I am very intrigued by that Zenith brush, folks, and I will link it below, the one that Mark is speaking about, because he provided the link. Thank you very much for Mark. Okay, it's dry. Here are the final photos. I think it's the best $10 brush you can find, and it's soft and ready to use. You should get one and do your own test. You still use a boar brush sometimes, don't you? Yes, I do still use a boar brush sometimes, and the Zenith brush has me intrigued, and it looks like you got a really nice result from this break-in routine. Thanks very much for sharing it. He goes on to say this. Also, one of these days, you need to try a Zenith Badger, synthetic, or horsehair brush. Absolutely fantastic brushes. If you ever purchase a Badger brush, then buy a Zenith Silvertip or Manchurian. The prices are very good and the quality is exceptional. I love their handle designs. I'll show you a pic of my favorite handle. I have this handle in both boar and Badger brushes. It's the most comfortable handle I've ever used. Truth is, Zenith doesn't get the respect they deserve. I suppose it's because they are a much smaller company than Semogue or Omega. You have to look to find a Zenith, but they are well worth taking the trouble to find. Yeah, thanks very much for that, Mark. Really do appreciate it. Looks like a great routine to break in a boar brush. We'll definitely check out the Zenith brush lines that are out there. Folks, I'll find a link and I'll post it below so you can explore the Zenith brushes as well. And $10 for a boar brush is a really nice price point, especially if you're going to try this break-in for a new boar brush. It's a negligible cost to try something out. Yeah, I would definitely, I'm definitely looking into giving that a try down the road. So thanks again, Mark. Really, really do appreciate it. Well, that wraps up another Monday morning mailbag. Thanks very much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. Please share, please subscribe, please like. Hit that bell so it'll give you a yell the next time I upload a video. Comment below. Let me know. Check out the Executive Shaving Company. Use the code MARK5. Check out my blog, georgetooney.com/blog for my comic strip George, other cartoons, other videos like this. I'm on Facebook. Check out my Facebook page. Check out Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements for some great shaving gear. Check out VikingsBlade.com for some great shaving gear. For all things barbers, check out Big Boot Barbers. Check out the Sudsy Soapery, and also check out Denton Magic Shave Soaps. They all have some great shave soaps. Check out my Amazon product page at amazon.com/shop/marks80, where you'll find all the products I review in this channel, organized and categorized so you can find everything in a snap very easily. I'll leave you with this laugh. Thanks very much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. Happy Independence Day, happy 4th of July, and make it a great week.